Informative speech sample. I have been a writer since I was old enough to string 2 sentences together, and a storyteller. I hope someday to be an author. And now the difference between a writer and an author is that writers write stuff, and anybody can be a writer. But an author is a person who has a published body of work, at least one book, and a following of people who read their work. On the road to becoming an author, I have done a lot of things to pay the bills. I have been a waitress, a carpenter's gopher, worked in a library, worked in daycare. I've taught public school, and I am a librarian and an adjunct instructor. In 2007, I began the strange journey to becoming a freelance writer, which is a writer who gets paid, but who doesn't necessarily have a following and can't really be classified as an author because most of their works are published for other people with other people's names on them. I started out writing for Tryon, which is a little online publishing company that's a pay-per-click. I was very excited the month that I made 50 cents. And then the following year, I started writing for Associated Content, which has been since bought out by Yahoo and became Yahoo Content, I believe. Or maybe that was Ask.com got bought out. I think they both did, actually. A lot of buying and selling goes on in the publishing trade. Well, anyway, I made $33 working for Associated Content before they went belly up, and then I started writing for Demand Media. Demand Media was a little bit more like writing for a publishing company in that you would write the articles, you would submit them for approval, and if they liked it, and they would pay you $10 or $12 or $15, I finally got up to $25 before they reorganized, and I was kind of out of a job there. I wasn't the only one. There were several thousand other writers who were out of a job that year, and some of them felt pretty bitter about the whole thing. Then I started to work for Odesk, or as it has most recently become, Upwork. Odesk or Upwork is actually a referral service where you look through a list of clients and select ones that you think you can write for. You petition for the job, and then you do the work. Working through them, I am probably earning the most I have ever earned as a writer. In fact, I have reached the point that I make about 1/3 of my income writing. Now, here's the reality of the writing trade. According to the U.S. Labor Department statistics, 3% of the population work as writers of one sort or another. And please understand that these are not all fiction authors. Many of them are technical writers, or they write screenplays, or like myself, they write quietly behind the scenes, and you will never know who those people are. On the average, they make about $26.84 an hour, or $55,000 a year. I promise you, I don't earn that much as a writer. Now, perhaps if I could write computer manuals, my income would increase. To kind of give you a little bit of perspective on this writing business, Publishing Perspectives notes that most writers, and this includes 54% of published writers who have an actual following, and probably about 80% of freelance writers like myself make less than $1,000 a year. Now, I will own that although I brought in over $5,000 last year writing, by the time I subtracted off the cost of my research, the power for my computer, the internet service, and incidentally, heat for my little study, I came up with a grand writing total of a whole big 0. Well, it happens. Hopefully this year will be better. The year before I actually had to pay income taxes on my earnings. So that's the way it works. I love writing. I truly do. And each writing assignment that I get from clients is an adventure. It's new information. It's another look on the world. There are a lot of different people out there who do a lot of different things. And every time I write even advertising copy, I learn a little something new about the way the world works. Someday, I hope to actually complete my manuscripts, my novels, and get the 2 or 3 that I have started that I pick out every once in a while actually out there in the world to be read and to be looked at. I do have a couple of fiction items on Amazon.com. I doubt if I will ever be rich from my writing. I don't particularly need to be famous, but I love to write. And one day, I would like to be an author.